Welcome and welcome and welcome again. Yes, we are in Numbers 22. Yes, I hope you had a chance to watch the video I did on the prophet Ballam. Okay, that's Prophet Ballam. Look for it on the YouTube page. Hopefully you watch that video because it goes perfectly with what we are doing today. Okay, the prophet Ballam, King Ballam, King Balak, and 3 encounters with the angel of the Lord. That's what chapter 22, verse 1 to 40 is about. And we're going to go in detail. You know what? I got to tell you this, man, before we even start. When your enemies try to hurt you, God may send them to be a blessing unto you. So let's continue from there. Okay? The Israelites set out and camped in the plain of Moab, across the Jordan from Jericho. 2. Now Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. 3. Moab was in great dread of the people, because they were so numerous. Moab was overcome with fear of the people of Israel. 4. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, these hordes will now lick up all that is around us, as an ox lick up the grass of the field. Now Balak, son of Zippor, was king of Moab at that time. 5. He sent messengers to Ballam, son of Beor, at Pethor, which is on the Euphrates, in the land of Amal, to summon him, saying, a people has come out of Egypt. They have spread over the face of the earth, and they have settled next to me. 6. Now come now, curse these people for me, since they are stronger than I. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that whomever you bless is blessed, and whomever you curse is cursed. 7. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the fees for divination in their hand. And they came to Ballam and gave him Balak's message. 8. He said to them, stay here tonight, and I will bring back words to you, just as the Lord speak to me. So the officials of Moab stayed with Ballam. 9. God came to Ballam and said, who are these men with you? 10. Ballam said to God, King Balak, son of Zippor of Moab, has sent me this message. 11. A people has come out of Egypt and has spread over the face of the earth. Now come, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and drive them out. 12. God said to Ballam, you shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. 13. So Ballam rose in the morning and said to the officials of Balak, go to your own land, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you. 14. So the official of Moab rose and went to Balak and said, Ballam refused to come with us. 15. Once again, Balak sent officials more numerous and more distinguished than these. 16. They came to Ballam and said to him, thus said Balak, son of Zippor, do not let anything hinder you from coming to me. 17. For I will surely do you great honor, and whatever you say to me, I will do. Come, curse these people for me. 18. But Balak replied to the servant of Balak, all the Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold. I could not go beyond the command of the Lord my God to do less or more. 19. You remain here as the others did, so that I may learn what more the Lord may say to me. 20. That night God came to Ballam and said to him, if the men have come to summon you, get up and go with them. But do only what I tell you to do. 21. So Balam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the officials of Moab. 22. God's anger was kindled because he was going. And the angel of the Lord took his stand in the road as his adversary. Now he was riding on the donkey, and his two servants were with him. 23. The donkey saw the angels of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. So the donkey turned off the road and went into the field, and Balaam struck the donkey to turn his back onto the road. 24. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between the vineyard with a wall on either side. 25. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, he scraped against the wall and scraped Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck it again. 26. Then the angel of the Lord went ahead and stood on a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or to the left. 27. Then the donkey saw the angel of the Lord. He lay down under Ballam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. 28. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and he said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? 29. Balaam said to the donkey, because you have made a fool of me, I wish I had a sword in my hand. I would kill you right now. 30. But the donkey said to Balaam, I am not your donkey, which you have ridden all your life to this day. Have I been in the habit of treating you this way? And he said, no. 31. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed down, falling on his face. 32. The angel of the Lord said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? I have come out as an adversary because your way is perverse before me. 33. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If he had not turned away from me, surely just now, I would have killed you and let it live. 34. Then Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I did not know that you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now, therefore, if it is displeasing to you, I will return home. 35. The angel of the Lord says to Balaam, go with the men, but speak only what I tell you to speak. So Balaam went on with the official of Balak. 36. When Balak heard that Balaam had came, he went out to meet him at Moab on the boundary formed by the Arnon, at the farthest point of the boundary. 37. Balak said to Ballam, "Did I not send to summon you? Why did you not come to me? I am not able to honor you." 38. Ballam said to Balak, "I have come to you now, but do I have power to say just anything? The sword, the word God put in my mouth, that is what I must say." 39. Then Balam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. 40. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep and sent them to Balaam and to the officials who were with him. Okay. On the next day, Balak took Balaam and brought him up to Bamoth Baal, and from there he could see part of the people of Israel. Now, now. I want to explain this to you. As I said to you when I was doing the video for the prophet Ballam. Okay. We on Numbers 22, verse 1 to 40. Okay. Numbers 22 is continued the story of Ballam, I should say. Continue on to 23 and 24. Okay? So, if you're gonna I want you to pay attention to those three because they goes hand in hand together. Okay? Now, on chapter 22, the overall, what the main thing is about. The prophet Ballam, King Balak, and 3 encounters with the angel of the Lord. Okay? Now, okay? Balak, that's B-A-L-A-K, Balak, king of Moab, hears the Israelite victory against the Amorite and became afraid. He hired a prophet or a seer from Mesopotamia named Ballam to come and place a curse on Israel. Ballam, however, ends up becoming an instrument of the Lord, blessing Israel rather than cursing Israel. Okay? Now, let's start with verse 2. Now Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorite. On all that Israel had done to the Amorite, okay, I want you to go and read chapter 21, Numbers 21, verse 21 to 35. There's 21 to 35. Okay? It says, then Israel sent message. Then Israel sent messengers to King Sihon of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through your land. We will not turn aside into a field or vineyard. We will not drink the waters of any wells. We will go by the king highway until we have passed through your territory. 23. but Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his territory. Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Israel in the wilderness. He came to Jahaz and fought against Israel. 24. Israel put him to the sword and took possession of his land from the Anan to the Jabbok, as far as the Amorites, for the boundaries of the not Amorite, as far as the Ammonites, for the boundaries of the Ammonite was strong. 25. Israel took all these towns, and Israel settled in all the towns of the Amorites, and in Heshbon, in all this village. 26. For Heshbon was the city of King Sihon of the Amorite, who had fought against the former king of Moab and captured all his land, as far as the Anan. 27. Therefore the ballad singers say, "Come to Heshbon, let it be built, let the city of Sihon be established." 28. For fire came out from Heshbon, flame from the city of Sihon. It devoured Ab of Moab and swallowed up the height of Anan. Woe to you, O Moab! You are undone, O people of Shemosh. He has made his son fugitive and his daughters captive into Amorite king Sihon. To their prosperity perish, so their prosperity perished from Heshbon to Dibon. And we laid waste until fire spread to Medeba. 31. Though Israel settled in the land of the Amorite, Moses sent to spy out Jazer, and they captured its village and dispossessed the Amorite who were there. 33. Then they turned and went up the road to Bashan, and King Og of Bashan came out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Ijre. 34. But the Lord said to Moses, "Do not be afraid of him, for I have given him into your hand, with all his people and all his land. You shall do to him as you did to King Sihon of the Amorite, who ruled in Heshbon." 35. So they killed him, his son, and all his people, until there was no survivor left, and they took possession of his land. Okay? So, okay, this is why they was afraid of all the thing that Israel has done to the Amorite, which I just read to you, that happened on Numbers 21, right? Verse 21 to 35. They took all their land, all their possession. They were scared. Okay? Now, let's continue to verse 4. Verse 4. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, "This horde will now lick up all that is around us, as an ox lick up the grass of the field." Now Balak, son of Zippor, was king of Moab at that time. Right? On the connection between Moab, Midian, and Ballam. Amen. I want you to open up to chapter chapter 25 and also on 31. Okay? Chapter 25 and also on chapter 31. So you could see the connection between those three, the Moab, the Midian, and Balak, the prophet. Okay? I'm not going to read all, I just want to read some to you. Maybe read some to you, but not really. I'm gonna read it all. Okay? Uh, um, chapter 25 have you only have about, how many verses you have on it? 18 verse. Only have 18 verses on it, so it's not that long for you to read and see the connection between those two. Okay? Um, and also turn to 31. Chapter 31. Chapter 25. Let me give you a little on it, right? Is the final rebellion. Israel worship of a foreign god and entanglement with foreign women. Right? Now, the chapter, okay, the chapter combines two incidents in which the all wilderness generation of Israel rebels against God command. One incident involved Israelite men having sexual relationship with women from Moab, which lead them to worship the Moabite god Baal. Okay? So, then the second incident involved Israel with the tribe of Simeon who had sexual relationship with a woman from Midian. Okay? So that's two right there. Let me just go. So you could see the connection between these two so far. Okay. Now let's continue to 31. Chapter 31. Okay? On chapter 31, we see that the Lord come in. There was a holy war against Midian. Okay, on chapter 31, the Lord come in the avenge. The Lord come in to avenge the Israelites on the Midian, on the Midianite. Okay, it stems from the Midianite's role in drawing Israel into worship of gods other than the Lord in the incident at Peah. That's in chapter 25, verse 1 to 8. Remember when they get to their land, right? God told them to kill everybody. Kill everybody, don't worship their God, don't take part in their business, nothing. But the Israelites, they was hard-headed people, hard-headed, stiff-necked people. So They didn't listen to God. They left a few. They get involved with their people. They start worshiping God, different gods. Okay, fine. Now, when you continue on, you're gonna see that Baal, the Israelite killed the prophet Baal. Okay, okay, they killed the prophet Baal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because one of the reason what happened is when you get down to, I think it's verse 16, uh Ballam has urged the Median woman to entice the Israelites to worship foreign gods and though abandon their Lord. So because he forced them to worship, so that's their relationship. Balal end up dying at the end. Make it plain and short. Okay? So God did like that. He had to go. Anybody who will entice somebody to worship all the gods, make sacrifice to other God, God will handle it, and they're not gonna like it. Okay? Now, that's from verse 4. That's my explanation for verse 4. Okay? Moab said to the elders of the medium, this horde will not lick up. This is the connection between the Moab, the Moab, the Moabite, the Median, and the prophet. Okay, now read 25 and read chapter 31. Now let's continue to verse 5. Verse 5. He sent messengers to Balaam's sons of Beor at Pethor, which is under Euphrates, in the land of Ammah, to summon him, saying, a people has come out of Egypt. They have spread over the face of the earth, and they have settled next to me. Wow. They settled next to me. The Euphrates is a major river in Mesopotamia, right? So the people of God was settled near the Mesopotamia, right? Now, in verse 6, let's continue on verse 6. That was verse 5. The Euphrates is a major river in Mesopotamia. So you could have an idea of where the Israelite was at the time and where the king was at the time. Okay? What country, what part of the world they was in exactly. Now verse 6. Come now, curse these people for me, since they are stronger than I. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that whomever you bless is blessed, and whomever you curse is cursed. Verse 6. A prophet's spoken word of curse or blessing were believed to unleash either a negative or positive power that would shape the outcome of future events. In another word, people, whatever come out of a man of God, you see, if you speak good on that person, the blessing will come. If you speak bad, a curse will come. That's it. Okay? So they believed it. They sent people to get him, right? Because they were looking for that blessing. He said, I want him to come and bless me to make sure that I win. That's faith, okay? So anyway, I know my kids from experience. My kids often say, I need to stop speaking onto their life because what I say come out of my mouth is exactly what it is, okay? It's like 3 weeks ago, I was driving and I was like, something came into my mind. It said, Go to the church, download the recovery CD for your computer before you even use it today. Before I use it, download it. And I'm like, God, okay, I need to go live. I need to hurry up. I let it. I'm like, I'll do it after church. Bad things. It came. It tell me exactly what to do. I ignore it. All right? Guess what happened? After I did the video, I went live, and then I recorded one, went live on the other. The camera stopped working. I'm like, man, I should have had the when I stopped working. I'm like, oh my God, try to fix it. I'm like, but I should have did the recovery CD. It was in my mind to do it. That's what I said. When God is speaking to you, it could be a blessing. It tells me to do it. Sometimes I look at myself and like, why didn't I do what my mind tell me to do? Because when I reject what my mind tell me to do, it's come to pass. I see the blessing and I see the negative side at the same time. But for some reason, I always slow to do what I have to do. So it's like my kids. I tell them to do something, and when they do it, I'm like, okay, well, if you do this, God's gonna do that. You're gonna be blessed that way. If you don't do it, this is the curse that's gonna come to you. Right? I give them a choice. And then my kids always say, you know I'm not going to choose the good stuff. Why you always put curses on me? Because I'll give you a choice. Which one you want, the curse or the blessing? You choose your blessing. You choose your curse. Oh, sometimes I don't give them nothing. I just speak. I speak to them straight. I was like, this is going to happen to you today. So don't do it. Don't do that. And exactly what I said is exactly what happened. Like my daughter took my car. And I told her, don't take my car that morning. You're going to have a car accident. Don't take my car that morning. She took the car. Within an hour later, the police was at my door. She had a car accident. Right? But she wasn't hurt. So I went to the scene and then I straightened out everything. Didn't even press charges. So that's one. Another time she took my car. I told her, don't take my car. Don't leave the house that night. If you do, this is going to happen. Exactly what I said happened. I told her, don't take the car. You're going to have a flat tire in the middle of the road, and it's not going to be good for you. It's too late to take the car out. She didn't listen. She sneaked out, take the car. Car had a flat tire. Had to call the towing company. She ended up towing. She know what to do. She know how to handle herself. But she had to call the towing company to tow the car back home. And then the next day, I'm going to work. My car have a flat. I didn't in my car. Then I couldn't go nowhere. So that's why I said there's cursing and blessing. All right? If you listen to a servant of God, you get blessing. If you don't listen, you get curses. My kids will always say, please don't put lips on me. I feel like this is exactly what the kings was thinking. Like if Baal come and speak blessing unto them, they're going to get blessing. If they speak curses unto them, they're going to get curses. And like my kids this is the last stage of the school. And they was like, Mom, we're not going to make it. Please bless us. Please bless us so we could bless. They already know when you are worshiping God, you are a real child of God. If you put the blessing out, blessing gonna come. If you put the curses out, the curse is gonna come. Okay? Now, let's continue on. Okay? Now, in verse 7, so the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the fees for divination in their hand, and they came to Ballam and gave him Balak message. Ballam is a hired prophet who charged fees for divination. Okay? Divination was an ancient means of finding information about future events by interpreting some objects, such as the configuration of pots on the liver of a sacrifice or of a sacrifice animal. Okay? In other words, he was a voodoo priest. You couldn't say he was a priest. You could say he was a voodoo priest because he did divination. He look at things, right? He look at things. Um, yeah, I can say he was a voodoo priest exactly, but he did a lot of magic. He look at future things by looking at what's going on. Whereas, um, other people they had to do that. They God speak to them directly, you know, that's godly. But divination is like when people do magic, black magic, palm readers, sorcerers. Do you understand? Um. Anyway, anyway. So, anyway, that's anybody who do divination is somebody who do it's like a voodoo priest. Like I said, in our culture, it's called uga, uluga, uga, mun kap servi diab, bagay sa yo. That's what Ballam was. He was somebody who did voodoo spells, hex, and stuff like that. He looked at the future. He put pot on top of dead animals to see what the lie, what it says and what it didn't say. Uh-huh. But at the same time, um, he had a relationship with God he scared God to a point because he told him, well, I can't do nothing before contacting God, even though he was doing divination. You know what I mean? That's not right. So anyway, that's my explanation of verse 7. Verse 8. He said to them, stay here tonight. I will bring back words to you, just as the Lord speaks to me. So the officials of Moab stays with Ballam. Surprisingly, although Ballam is a non-Israelite prophet, he said he will obey Israel God, right? He will obey Israel God. And let's look at verse 7, 18 and 20, right? But Balaam replied to the servant of Balak, although Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I would not go beyond the command of the Lord my God to do less or more. Okay? That's verse 18. Then go verse 20. That night God came to Ballam and said to him, if the men have come to summon you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. Okay? He was not, okay? Um, he was not an Israelites, but I think it's the fear of God. He had the fear of God in him enough, not, he was still doing those idol, I don't know how much fear of God he could have for doing all those things, but he had a little fear of God. He know who God is. He may not have fear, but he know who God is, right? So he had a little fear of God to know that he's not going to go against the word of God because he know how strong the Israelite God is, right? And he know not to disobey God because he know the kind of what can happen to him because being a divinator, by doing divination and stuff like that, he have a insight of who God is, right? I'm sure all the other kingdom have an insight of who God is, even though they're worshiping other gods, the gods of their land whom they claim as their God, but they still have an insight of of the greater power, but choose to do other things. Just like the Israelites. They know who God is, but they still choose to worship other gods. It's in their blood to do evil things. Okay? That's in verse 18 and 20. That's just okay, for your references. So let's continue on to let's continue on to verse 15 to 40. Okay, of chapter 22. Okay. That's gonna be long. Let's start with 22. Although the Lord had just commanded Ballam to go to King Balak in verse 20 that we just read, the Lord became angry at Balak because he was going. As a result, the angel of the Lord blocked Balak's way. The threat of an angel contending against a person whom God had just commanded to go on a mission is a motive, right? Okay. That occur elsewhere in the Bible. It's not only the first time that God would command somebody to go on a mission and then try to block him from going. Because God already told him he could not go. Do you understand? That's why God is upset. God already told him he could not go because the Israelites were his chosen people. You understand? So why would you even want to go back in front of God asking permission again after he said you cannot curse my people? You cannot hurt them. You cannot curse them. They are blessed already. Okay? And by the way God had blessed the Israelites, even the other countries that was near where okay, fine, they camp outside, they're gonna pass through, they're gonna eat all my vegetation, they're gonna destroy my land, they're coming, they're like they are so powerful, we are so small, they got scared. Right? So they know how powerful the Israelites are. The other nations around that was camping around that own land around that around where they was camping, they know how powerful the Israelites are. They see what they did before to other kingdoms. They see that. So they don't want that happen to them. Okay? So why would Ballam even try to in front of God just because the king sent somebody back again? Because he didn't like the answer that Balak gave him, that he couldn't come. So he sent other people, and then Balaam got the nerve to go back in front of God to bless who God is trying to remove their land from. If they wanted to be blessed, they should have live a godly life. They wasn't living a godly life. God already promised the land that was around that area to the Israelites anyway. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all that the Israelites had captured all the land already on chapter 21. I'm not surprised. These are promised land. Okay? Now, so Moses is threatened by the Lord when he began his mission to lead Israel out of Egypt. So in Exodus 4, verse 24 to 26, the Lord had also threatened Moses. So it wasn't just Balaam that was threatened. After God said, go ahead, you could go ahead, go see that king and stuff like that. It's not, even though, and then the Lord tried to stop him by sending the angels and by sending the angels that he couldn't even see at first. It was only the the donkey that was able to see the horse, to see the angels, and it's also make you wonder why did Balam know that he was riding the wrong donkey, right? And the donkey moved around, you know, move. They see the angels. The first time he moved, the second time he went, the second and third time you strike the donkey. How come he didn't realize he was not riding his own donkey, right? Because if you know that, you would have realized, he would have realized something was wrong. He would have realized that because his donkey would not have turned around. And then the donkey said, "Well, why you strike me?" Okay, he's reminded me of when Jesus was riding in through Jerusalem, right? Riding in through on the little donkey. He was not riding on the chariots or horses. He was riding on a little donkey. Humble little donkey. Anyway, just a little thought. Now, Exodus 4, verse 26. 24, 26. On the way, at a place where they spent the night, the Lord met him and tried to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint and cut off her son's foreskin and touched Moses' feet with it and said, "Truly you are a bridegroom of blood to me." And so he led him alone. He was then, he said, a bridegroom of blood by circumcision. Okay? God was even trying to kill Moses, threatened Moses, right? After he sinned, after he began his mission to lead Israel out of Egypt. Now he also threatened Joshua. Joshua encountered an angelic commander of the Lord's army with a drawn sword as he began his mission to conquer Canaan in Joshua 3, verse 13 to 15. Okay? Let me read that to you. I think I'm going to be here all night. Joshua 3. And also, you could look at, let me give you a second. Let me give you all the verses so you could just write them down. Joshua 3, when God sent him out. Okay. And Joshua 5, verse 13 to 15. And also, Jacob wrestled with God as he returned home to Canaan in Genesis 22 to 32. Genesis 22 all the way down to 32, right? These stories emphasize that even those sent by God remain subject to God's will and are not immune from correction or judgment. So just because God sent you, God God is still have control over you to correct you, right? To correct you and to judge your path. Are you doing exactly what how he want it done? Okay? Because Baal was told not to go. He decided to go. He went in front of God. God told him no. Then he went again a second time. God told him, yes, but you must do what I asked you to do. Now, verse 23. Verse 23. Verse 23. Oh, we're 50 minutes already. Let me do it. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. So the donkey turned off the road. He went into the field, and Ballam stroked the donkey to turn it back onto the road. Right? Ballam is supposed to be a professional diviner and prophet. However, his own donkey, he is able to see what he does not see. The angel of the Lord standing in front of him. Okay? He was not able to see the power of God. He was not able to see the messenger of God. Right? But yet you claim that you could see. You claim that you are a solid prophet. Right? It was not until the prophet, the angel made him see him in front of him that he could see that the angel was there. Come on. Now, 28. Verse 28. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and he said to Ballam, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? Remember they betrayed Jesus 3 times, right? 3 times. Now, anyway, 28. The talking donkey gives this scene the character of a fable, which make fun of Ballam. Just as the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, so the Lord will need to open the eyes of Ballam on verse 31. Okay? Verb of seeing and looking are key words throughout Ballam's story on chapter 22 and 24. Right? Now, let me read to you verse 31. Okay? Then the Lord opened the eyes of Ballam, and he saw the angels of the Lord standing in the road with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down, falling on his face. Okay? He was able to see. But it was not until the Lord opened up his eyes. So obviously, Balak he was a prophet, a divinator, one foot in and one foot out, but he could not see God. He didn't have that power. Whoever was giving him the divination spirit, right? He didn't have that. He didn't have it. You know, he couldn't see the glory of God. He couldn't see. Oh, God. He couldn't see it. Okay? Sometimes you have to ask God to open up your eyes. Sometimes we're going in blindly, standing in front of the messenger of God, blindly, when they're trying to direct your path, right? Telling you you can't go there. Hi, yeah. Anyway, 32 to 32. Okay? To 35. The Lord command to go in verse 20. Right? He said, go ahead, go. No problem, go. But he said to stop on verse 32. You can't go nowhere. Then he said to go again on verse 35, right? The angel of the Lord said to Ballam, go with the men. But, okay, let me go with verse 20 so you can understand. That night, God came to Ballam and said to him, if the men have come to summon you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. That's in 20. Go ahead, go. That's the second time. The first time God said no. The second time he said, go ahead, go. Okay? Then, when Ballam said, okay, now he moved up to verse 32. The angel of the Lord said to him, why do you struck your donkey 3 times? I have came out as an adversary because your ways is perverse before me. Your ways is not good. Remember how the Lord was telling the people of Israel that they was perverse, they was not good, they was wicked, their ways are not right. All because they was worshiping other gods. God didn't like that. There was idolaters. Their ways were not right. Right? And he said the same thing to the people that live in Sodom and Gomorrah. He said their ways were perverse. Were not the way he want them to live. Their ways were against the word of God. Okay? So, okay? Now, in 35. I continue to 35. 35 said, the angel of the Lord said to Ballam, go with the men, but speak only what I tell you to speak. So Ballam went on with the officials of Balak. Right? Remember we said that Ballam was a hired divinator. He was a hired prophet for money, a divinator for money. Right? So I think his main reason after he wanted to go the first time, but he didn't want because he know what God did for the Israelites. He didn't want to be struck. So he went to ask God first. Right? Now, when God told him no, the king Balak sent more officials and to go there and get him. He said, okay, let me go ask God. God said, okay, you could go. On verse 20. Then in 32, in verse 32, he said, I came to stop you. You can't go. You can't do. I come to stop you. Because remember, they were there with their silver and gold to pay him the first time. So I'm sure this time the second time they bring even more money to entice him to go. Okay? He said that's why Balak was like, well, even if he give me mansion, his house and everything, I can't do a thing. Okay? Now, the Lord will be ready to attack Ballam if he does not do God's will and bless Israel, right? When you look at verse 35, he said, verse 35 demonstrate to Ballam, the angels demonstrate to Ballam that the Lord is in sole command of him. He don't have no command over his own self. God have control over Ballam. He tell him what to do and what not to do, when to go and when not to go. Pretty much just like the people of Israel. Okay? The Lord will be ready to attack Ballam if he does not do God's will and bless Israel. Because guess what? He was still a prophet that did divination. Okay? So he could not go in front of Balak and curse Israel and bless Balak. Because that's not what God wants. Right? God will use anyone to bless you, to speak blessing unto you. Just like he did. He used Balak. He used Ballam to speak blessing on Israel instead of curses like Balak, the king Balak, wanted him to do. Okay? Now, verse 36. When Balak heard that Ballam had came, he went out to meet him at Moab on the boundary formed by the Anan at the farthest point of the boundary. Okay? Verse 36, the Anan River is the northern boundary of the nation of Moab. Is the northern boundaries of the nation of Moab. Okay? He went to beat Balak there. Now, verse 40. Verse 40. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep and went and sent them to Ballam and to the officials that were with him. Okay? Now, the sacrifice of oxen and sheep were likely part of the ritual of divination. Okay? On verse 7. Okay? On verse 7. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Media departed with the fee for divination in their hand, and they came to Balak and gave him Balak's message. Right? So I'm not surprised if the oxen and the sheep were a ritual, were used to cover the fee for which to cover the process of the ritual. Okay, remember the devil is a copycatter. Okay, he will use the same oxen, the same sheep, that the same technique that the Israelite used to make sacrifices in front of God. He will use the same technique for people who do divination, for idolaters, for all those wicked people, so he could get his own glory. You know what I'm saying? He will use the same technique, same principle, but the message is different. Okay? Now, I didn't do a review on verse 41, because verse 41 is pretty much attached to 33. It said, on the next day, Balak took Ballam and brought him up to Baal, and from there he could see part of the people of Israel. Then Ballam said to Balak, build me 7 altars here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. Okay? This is all rituals. Okay? Rituals. Now, Ballam had 4 oracles of blessings. Okay? He had 4 oracles. It's just a little tidbit I'm giving you for 22:41 all the way down to 44:25. A review, just a short review of that. The rest of 22 all the way down to the last verse of 22 all the way down to chapter 24:25. The content of Ballam first 2 oracle or pronouncement of blessing occurs in Numbers 23 verse 7 to 10 and also 23 verse 18 to 24 are intricately related to and dependent on the surrounding narrative about Ballam and Balak. In contrast, the content of Ballam's 3rd and 4th oracle of blessing happens in Numbers 24 verse 3 and 9 and Numbers 24 verse 15 to 24 are less tied to the narrative, though they may have had independent life prior to being incorporated into the present story. Just a little tip view that I just gave you from the last verse of chapter 22, which we are doing right now, all the way down to chapter 24, verse 25. Okay? May the glory of God be with you. May God peace, love, and protection shine upon your life and your family. Amen. May you take the time during this COVID-19 while you are at home. Start off with Genesis, the introduction of Genesis and Genesis, all the way down to where we are right now. Amen. And as we continue to make more, you will continue to watch more. Your faith in God will continue to grow. Peace. Shalom. Also, do not forget to share this video. Do not forget to subscribe, and do not forget to donate. Donate your time in prayer for us, so more people will know about the word of God throughout the four corners of the earth. Do not forget to donate financially to our mission, so we could help more of those in need. The link is at the bottom of the page. You could click the PayPal link. It is a safe site. You will give as much as you want, because every donation, every tithe, every offering you give will be a blessing to those that we help. We are 501c3. May the glory of God be upon you. Peace.